Eric stands at the edge of a dark metallic chamber surrounded by blinding lights as Jimmy looks into the camera with his usual intensity and says, "Would you risk losing a limb for $300,000? Eric's eyes widen, and he takes a deep breath before saying, "Let's do it, man." Jimmy grins. "Good luck, bro. You're braver than me. This is gonna be insane." The camera pans across a massive room built like a warehouse with moving mechanical arms, spinning blades, and heavy metal traps. Sparks flying from every direction. Behind Eric lies a glass case filled with $300,000 cash, and he'll only win it if he completes 7 near-impossible traps that could cost him a limb or send him home with nothing. The first challenge begins with Eric strapped into a harness over a pit of swinging metal beams, each one moving faster than the last. Jimmy yells over the roaring machinery, "All you have to do is cross this pit and hit the red button on the other side. Seems simple, right?" Eric nods, gripping the rope. The beams swing by inches from his legs as he carefully moves across. Chandler shouts, "Watch out, that one almost took your foot off." Eric keeps his focused breath steady until his harness slips and he barely catches himself on the final platform. He slams the red button as alarms go off and lights flash. He's cleared the first trap with all limbs intact. Jimmy claps. "That's 1 down, 6 to go next trap." Eric is led blindfolded to another room when he removes it. He's staring down a platform 40 feet high suspended over a tank filled with hundreds of robotic arms, rotating metal blades circling like sharks in water. Jimmy grins. "For every foot you go higher, your reward increases $50,000, but if you fall, you lose everything." Eric shakes his head, muttering, "That's a bad idea." Jimmy laughs. "That's the point, man." Eric climbs higher. The crowd chants, "Higher, higher." He reaches the top, trembling, the wind shaking the beam. He looks down at the tank of blades and says, "Let's finish this." Eric leaps clean through the air, lands on a hanging chain, and swings safely to the platform. Jimmy yells, "He did it. He actually did it. Now he's at 200,000. But Jimmy smirks. That was the warm-up. Welcome to trap number 3, a corridor lined with 20 swinging metal pendulums, each tipped with dull steel edges Eric has to sprint through in under 10 seconds before the floor panels drop away. Jimmy's voice echoes through a megaphone. 10 seconds starting now. Eric bolts forward, each pendulum missing by inches. Chandler yells, "He's not going to make it." Nolan counts down 3, 2, 1. Eric dives across the line as the final pendulum scrapes his boot. Jimmy shouts, "That's insane, man. He almost lost a foot." Trap 4 looks deceptively calm until the camera pans up, revealing Eric strapped to a giant spinning wheel with one arm locked in place. Jimmy explains, "This test measures endurance and precision. You must grab 3 keys rotating around you. If you fail, the wheel accelerates." Eric takes a deep breath as the wheel begins to spin. He stretches his free arm, catching 1 key. 2 keys. The 3rd key flies by slicing his glove open. He shouts in pain, gripping the final key before the wheel grinds to a stop. Jimmy claps, "Incredible, man. You just held on long enough to earn another $50,000. Eric's body shakes from exhaustion as Jimmy leads him into the 5th trap, a massive mechanical press with 10 metal doors, each one timed to slam shut with crushing force. Jimmy says behind the 5th door is your exit if you choose wrong. The press activates. Eric gulps as the countdown starts. Each door hisses shut one by one. He listens for faint sounds behind each chamber and at the last second dives through door number 5. Jimmy yells, "He did it. You got the right one. How did you even know?" Eric grins. "Lucky guess, bro." Trap 6 is the most dangerous yet. A long tunnel filled with moving saws, robotic limbs swinging wildly, and sparks flying. Jimmy says, "If you touch any sensor, the saws will double speed." Eric crawls through, keeping his limbs close as machinery roars all around him. He freezes mid-crawl when one blade swings inches from his hand. Jimmy whispers into the mic, "If he moves wrong, he's done." Eric steadies his breath, inches forward slowly. His arm grazes a sensor and the entire tunnel erupts in motion, saws speeding up, sparks flying. He dives through the final gate landing. Face first on the ground, breathing hard. Jimmy shouts, "He's through, he's through." For the final trap, the lights dim as a massive countdown clock appears behind them, 60 seconds on the timer. Jimmy says your last challenge is simple. If you can crawl across this platform, grab your money and press the stop button before the clock hits 0. You keep everything, but every 10 seconds, one of your limbs will be locked down by magnetic clamps. Eric nods. Ready. The clock starts. He crawls forward, grabs one bag at 10 seconds. His right leg locks 20 seconds. His left hand locks. He groans, dragging his body forward with sheer will. Chandler yells 30 seconds left. Come on, man! Eric drags himself another few feet, the magnets pulling at his body 40 seconds, both arms now stuck. He screams, pushing forward with his knees. Jimmy shouts, "You're almost there, 10 seconds." The clamps spark, the room shakes. Eric lunges, biting the strap of the last bag, pulling it toward the stop button with his teeth. 3 seconds, 2, 1. The button clicks just before the floor collapses. Jimmy runs over shouting, "He did it, he actually did it, $300,000. Eric lies on the floor, trembling, covered in sweat, saying, "I can't feel my legs." Jimmy laughs. "Don't worry, man. They're still attached. That's insane. You actually risked losing a limb for $300,000. Eric smiles weakly, saying, "It was worth it for my family." Jimmy pats his shoulder. "You're a legend, man." The music swells as Jimmy looks at the camera, saying, "That was the most dangerous challenge we've ever done. Subscribe so we can do something even crazier next time, because this was absolutely wild."